Yo, what's up, Uncommon Commentators family? Welcome back to the show on your annual Thursday night. Always love talking. Most definitely, where we're always breaking down the world-class hoops at a world-class level, but I can't do that without my main man, Garrett Brown. How you been, GB? How's your week been, man? As always, I gotta ask you that. I always love talking to you. How you been, man? How you doing?
Yeah, man, doing quite well. Can't complain. Of course, we're just had the NBA Cup wrapped up, so of course we'll get into that a little bit later. And same old, writing articles. And I did want to wait until we had the show tonight just to make a little announcement. So I just accepted a role with Fansided to be a senior contributor to Southern Down South. So me and Antoine looks like we're gonna be colleagues, my man. So happy to come on board and join with you, my man.
Most definitely. Yeah, man. Look forward to working with you. Always love working with you on here, so I know it's gonna be no different. I'm just riding with you and
Oh
stuff
no,
like
look at
that.
that. You get a new MacBook and shit just start falling in place. Look at that, huh?
Hey,
Huh?
boy, trying to be like you when I grow up, man. Trying to catch up. You feel me?
Whoa, brother. Whoa. It's tough sledding over here.
Man, you crazy. No, I appreciate it, brother.
No, of course, man. Congratulations, Joe. You work hard for everything you've ever earned. And the hard work always pays off regardless. Whoever you are, you can make your name great. And that's what you're doing right now. Very proud of you. And I'm really happy for you, bro. Most definitely. It's really hard out here. With
Yeah,
journalism shit, even trying to make a name for yourself out here, especially in the ocean of journalists. You gotta have those that are close to you, real allies, real friends. So definitely got that in me. So definitely happy for you. And again, congratulations to you. I can't wait to start working with you, especially
appreciate
post
it,
All
man.
Star break where shit, and stuff like that. But
Yes,
yeah, y'all
sir.
got a great show for y'all tonight, though. I want to thank y'all again for joining. We were covering the NBA Cup throughout its tournament, and it did come to a conclusion a couple nights ago. We saw the New York Knicks win the NBA Cup after defeating the San Antonio Spurs. We saw Jalen Brunson was crowned NBA Cup MVP, which I mean, hey, he was the third one to get it. The first was LeBron, the second was Giannis, and now the third is Jalen. It is cool to see these superstar names are getting that kind of level trophy. Because of course, you got fans online who still don't really care about the NBA Cup and stuff like that. But it's good to see that those names are getting it because they are putting on big performances on those big stages. And it only adds to the NBA Cup and the illustrious history that they're trying to establish with the NBA Cup. So I enjoyed it. I liked the whole thing from start to finish, even the group phase games. Some of them were blowouts, fortunately. Most of them were, you could see. But I felt like the tournament games themselves were really, really good. When they got out to Vegas, I thought those games were really good. The Spurs had the lead up until like the fourth quarter, and the Knicks just rallied and they just won. It was really cool to see that. Do you want to give a shout out to Victor Wembanyama? He lost his grandmother, I think, the day of that game. And like she's been around for a while. Like she's been at Spurs games with him. Y'all could have seen her on TV if you were watching the Spurs game one night. So they were definitely very close. He flew her out, to some of the games and stuff like that. And to see him even still play through that, I got nothing but respect for him. I got to tip my hat to him. It does remind me of the time when Isaiah Thomas, his sister, I think it was a car accident. How she passed away. It was like 2008. That was like 2017 when that happened. He was playing for the Celtics, and he played that next game in the playoffs. And he had like 33 points that game. So, got to give all respect and condolences to Victor Wembanyama and his family 100%. But I thought the game was really, really good from start to finish. Like I said, I like Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and like I said, all the Knicks too, from OG Anunoby to Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns. Really, it was really a really good matchup for the third NBA Cup championship. And I guess the funniest part about the whole thing, to me, I was talking to my friends about this the other day, and they were like, because when you win it in the NBA Cup, you get a banner for winning the trophy in the entire tournament. And The Athletic did report that the New York Knicks did turn down the banner, did not want it. They came out and said that, quote unquote, we are more focused on bigger goals like winning a championship. And they just didn't want it. Now, I did think it was kind of interesting because the Lakers and Bucks both won championships before the Knicks did, who haven't won a championship since like literally 1973. And you saw the Bucks and the Lakers both raise banners because I guess they were proud of the achievement, But I get it. It's Madison Square Garden. It's New York City. They probably feel like they really have to earn the real right to raise another banner. It's been a long time, since they added another one, like a real one, not like a divisional title and stuff like that. Actually, because of course I get it, that's an achievement in itself, but gold, trophies, history, that's the stuff that you have banners for. So they didn't want it, so I thought that was kind of interesting. But overall, though, I did enjoy the tournament. I think it's good for the future. Some fans are still going to try to hate on it, regardless of whatever. Everyone has opinions. But I enjoyed it. I truly do think what Adam Silver added, it's going to be good for the league, especially as time goes on. Those players were playing for that money. You saw Josh Hart all game. He kept going like that. So, you can say all the trophy all you want, but a big definitely that cash for sure. And hey, that's good for the players, they eat, everyone eats, they eat, the fans eat because they're playing harder. So I thought it was really, really good, and it's only going to get better the more, trial and error they have with the NBA Cup. So I look forward to it. I enjoyed it. And I think only good teams are going to win it too. So it's only going to add to the illustrious history of good teams that won that trophy. So how do you feel about the tournament as a whole? And yeah, we did get this wrong. We did pick Oklahoma, but the Knicks did pull it out. Of course, we got to be real with ourselves, most definitely. But how did you feel about the tournament as a whole? And looking forward with the NBA Cup, how do you think it might improve, or how do you feel about it as a whole?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, shout out to the New York Knicks for winning the NBA Cup. Congratulations to them. And again, my condolences to Wemby's grandmother. I know how that feels, so I know it's not easy to process. So definitely my condolences and respect for him to still go out and perform at a high level. So much respect to that. So I think that with the NBA Cup, I mean, like I say, as we mentioned it multiple times, I think that it's an okay element to add to the NBA. I think that other things could be adjusted, but it seems like for this NBA Cup, I think for me, this one seems to be more hyped, I guess, or more exciting. I think that the fans were very much engaged to this particular NBA Cup championship compared to the other ones that we've had seen just by watching it on the screen outside looking in. It seems like the fans were really engaged, and you heard a lot of Knicks fans uh, just cheering for their team during the game. So uh, seems like a lot of fans have traveled to Vegas just to see their team potentially win the championship, which they did. So I think that over time, I think fans will start to really become more engaged to the NBA Cup tournament as it seems. So I don't think it's something that's going to happen instantly, but I think over time, as each season goes on, I think fans will start to become more engaged. And who knows? I think even though that they're actually looking to move the NBA Cup to other places. But I think that if you're in Vegas or somewhere on the West Coast, I think it's a good sporting event to tend to anytime when you're in Vegas. So I think that's a fun way to look at it. But no, I think the Knicks they came out and they performed. Their starters played pretty well, and it seemed like the Spurs, like you mentioned, they had control of the game at one point, but the Knicks, it's not surprising that they came back with their resilience and with the players that they have. And Nobi had 28 and Brunson had 25 and Cat had a double-double with 16 points and 11 rebounds. So, yeah, like I said, I think this one happens to be the most exciting NBA Cup tournament of all, only because it was very loud and fans were into it. So, like I said, I think over time it could be better. But, yeah.
Nah, yeah. And we couldn't finish this out without talking to the man who has the most experience watching basketball here. And he's seen the NBA change a lot of things from the All-Star format.
You ain't got to do all that, dog. You ain't even got to do all that. Not going to play me before we go on break.
No, of course not. You're
fine. Before I give my takes on the actual game. So, of course, in the group chat, you posted about Well, let's rewind that back real quick. Last week we talked about the NBA Cup, and we had mentioned about the NBA Cup being what would possibly make it better, and change of location was one of the topics. And then what was it? Yesterday you threw in the group. Was it yesterday or day before you threw in the group chat about them mentioning changing the location
Right.
of the NBA Cup.
Yep.
Now, do you guys agree with changing the location? Yeah, that's my first question. Do y'all agree with with them changing the location for the NBA Cup from Vegas to wherever?
Yeah. Only because I think that I'm only saying this from a fan perspective. I'm not saying this more towards about the league, rather. I just think that when you're able to change it to different locations, I think, like that's why I said before, fans nationwide, they would be more engaged into it. So, say if they change it, just saying this out loud, for example, say if they change it to Seattle or something, or if they change it to um, Minneapolis. I'm just throwing out locations.
Yeah.
You have other people coming from different, states that could come and see that, in live action versus seeing it on the television. So that's why I say I think if you're able to change it each year, then I think that's where you would get the fans to be more engaged, more excited about the NBA Cup tournament. So, I mean, the rules are the rules. You already know the format of how the groups work and all that. So, but yeah, if they are able to do it that way, then I think it'll be more engaging. Maybe if they, I don't know, possibly do it internationally at some point if they're able to get the logistics correct, or maybe do it somewhere in London, or where they want to do it close by Mexico, somewhere in there. So, but yeah, if they could change it, I think that'd be a good way to go about it.
Yeah, I agree fully with Garrett. That's what I was thinking the next step was to take it international. They're already having games on international soil and stuff like that. So I think that's the next step to make it a bigger spectacle. Even with the Vegas question part that you asked, I do like Vegas. I like the neutral territory. They don't have really much other reason to go out to Vegas outside of the summer league. And obviously we know they've been trying to get a team out of Vegas for a while. So it's good to see that the arena still does fill up. But I was talking to my friend about it the other day. He said the crowd really wasn't that present even during the game. But I like the Vegas because it has neutral territory. I do like the part where it's neutral territory. So I wonder how they're going to change locations throughout the states while also having like neutral territory, or are they just going to do it like the higher seeded team in the cup just gets the home court advantage and that's it? But I think that's kind of unfair for like a game of that magnitude, especially if that's the first time those two teams are facing off. I think it's better that they have it like in neutral territory. But lastly, I do agree with what Garrett said. I think the next step, what they should do if people don't like Vegas, is to go overseas with it. I agree.
So I disagree with the going overseas portion. Reason being, I look at it with Vegas. Vegas it's an easy flight to get to. Also, Vegas is not necessarily Vegas at the moment. So when you think about it, they're going to make Vegas is going to make it affordable to show up, and be in Vegas. Now, from an NBA standpoint, that works perfectly. From a fan standpoint, it's kind of iffy because again, you have to think about kids. Vegas not necessarily a kid friendly place, but again, I get why the NBA chose Vegas. Easy place to get to. Like you said, neutral for both teams. Most fans would be willing to travel to Vegas because.
Think about it like this, though, Riley. I mean, I get what you're saying domestically, but you do have fans globally that may not
absolutely
be in the U.S.
Now,
internationally, that way, NBA fans overseas, that's their opportunity to go to NBA. You know what I mean? So
so now the NBA has to come to a point where it's like, well, what do we? Like you said, they're at a point of, well, what do we do? Because if we keep this if we keep this in the US, then yeah, we'll still be able to get fans to come in and draw the crowds that we need to draw. And it's going to suck for our international fans. Now, if we do it internationally, the roles are reversed. Now it's going to suck for everybody in the US because now you have to travel. You have to do all the same stuff. It's just the fact that the flight's definitely going to be more than traveling to say Vegas or Seattle. Pretty much pick a major city in the US. It's going to it's going to cost more depending on where you're flying from. So, but in a perfect world, let's say from major city to major city, you can find a flight. You can find a flight and get to said major city with no problem. Compared to going overseas, where it's going to cost you some more money to get overseas.
For sure.
And again, find your hotel, pay for the game, like all that. Again, that's something that the NBA has to figure out. Now, there is a little birdie flying around saying that with them changing locations, it's going to be geared towards college
universities. They did say that. They did.
And the first one there it sounds like they're aiming towards is Duke. Yeah. Excuse me. I don't like. I get it because Adam Silver graduated from Duke. So, but okay, again, how do you pull this off? Because now you're in a college area. So what's the ticket going to be for these games now? Are these tickets still going to be sky high, or are these going to be affordable to where local, people in Durham can show up that are not they may not be NBA fans, but hey, we got this NBA game in town. I want to pull up, but is the price right? So again, things that the NBA has to figure out with that. As far as with it being in Duke, I hate it because Cameron Indoor Stadium is small as shit from what I've been told. So it's more so, hey, you should pick, if you're going to do this on campuses or do this in college cities, pick the ones that can fill up. Granted, I live in the city, but Louisville,
like Kentucky, right?
the fucking Yum Center, perfect. Please do not say Kentucky because that shit is trash. And I'm saying from a seating standpoint and the fact that building is old, but the Yum Center, perfect. As they had already mentioned, they've mentioned before in the past of possibly trying to get an NBA team here in the city of Louisville. Perfect spot for it. They already have the arena for it. It's a plug and play situation. But that's just a school, just real quick off the top of the head of like, hey, if we're gonna do this from a college standpoint, then let's pick colleges that's going to be able to give you the crowd that you're looking for.
Right.
Now, as far as the game, I had to watch the game today. Wemby was pressing that entire game. Of course, we find out after the fact that he lost his grandmother. But if you watch the game, if you go back and watch the game, you could tell he was pressing. Like he was trying. It was like he was trying to play a little hero ball and just kind of be everywhere and try and do everything instead of just letting the game come to him. The Spurs, I like this Spurs team. Dylan Harper is going to be something. My favorite on the team, Stephon Castle, is a monster. But like the way them being able to play without Wemby, I think it helped them as far as getting to this point to where now you're not only are you able to play with Wemby, but you can play without Wemby. And they had a good lead and it looked like they were going to pull away. and then New York battled back. They came back in that fourth quarter because in that third going into that fourth quarter, Spurs looked like they were gonna take off because Wemby caught a quick heater. He caught a quick heater, and the Spurs. It was like the Spurs was rolling, but the Knicks kept battling, and of course, in true Knick fashion, at least as far as what we know as his team, they made their run, and then they just never looked back late in that fourth quarter, and here we are with them being the NBA Cup champions. So shout out to them, man. It was a really, really good game. Good game to watch. Shout out to Amazon Prime. I'm a geek when it comes to being able to use the what's the little mode that they have where it looks like you playing fucking 2K.
Yeah, that I have to get used to that because I have Prime. I have to get used to that. I'm just like, man, like they really like TNT, like no longer is the broadcast network for that though, but for NBA games no more though. But I mean, like you say, I think it's really cool of how they have that 2K scenery. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I just had to get used to watching it on Prime though.
Yeah, and they do it for NFL games too. So if you watch in the NFL, you can do it for NFL games too. Between them and of course NBC. NBC is the fucking standard.
Absolutely,
for
I agree.
The NBA. Like there's no touching NBC because they've been in this game for a long time.
Long time
dealing with the NBA. So, but for Prime to do their thing, also Adam Silver sending a couple of shots ESPN's way, like motherfuckers weren't gonna catch it. Like we hear you loud and clear, but also I agree. So there's that part too. But like for Prime to do their thing, of course, with them having Blake and Taylor Rooks. Freaking Dirt, Nash, like that's a great crew. Not gonna hold you. That is a great crew. I like them putting that crew together. I was like, at first, I was like, I don't know, because
if I recall, I think they added John Wall.
They added John Wall late.
Yeah, John Wall late. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But that crew. Great crew. Like the way that they talk about the game, they talk about the way that they talk about the players. I love it. But other than that, shout out to the Knicks. Congratulations to y'all. Well deserved. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It was great. I honestly really enjoyed it. Great take by Wiley as well. Really, really enjoyed that. A lot of insight. Great takes as well. Very logical. Absolutely, whether they stay in America or they go overseas, I think it's up for the NBA Cup from here. I think it is going to get better as time goes on, and I do look forward to the future of it. But we can go ahead and get to our next topic. I know this is one of the teams, going from positive to a negative, unfortunately, and one of those big cities being Los Angeles that we were talking about. The Clippers are struggling again, but this time it's different. Because this time they have no draft picks to even try to build for the future. James Harden, there's rumors that he's already on the trade market per the Stein line. And we already know Kawhi Leonard, obviously when he is healthy, he's still a great player, but his health issues still persist. He's averaging 25 points with 5 rebounds and 3 assists right now. And they did still extend his contract even with his injuries and stuff like that. So Kawhi's going to be there for the long term. But my question is, are the Clippers going to be there? Just given what they've been through, really as a franchise, just really wanted to give some insight into it. They came to Los Angeles in the 1970 to 71 season. Ever since then, their record as a franchise, they have 1,899 wins to 2,569 losses. So, I mean, even as a franchise, they have a losing record. It's like a 425% winning percentage as a franchise. They've had 19 playoff appearances and 0 championships, even when they had their best playoff team with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, all those guys. Doc Rivers and them, they never made it past like the second round. So even when they had like their best core of recent memory, they could not get past the second round. And like this part of it for me is that they really don't have any draft picks. Unfortunately, this draft class is loaded. And it's crazy because they were really going to get a lottery pick in their piece that they could build for the future. All they have is older stars, whether it's James Harden or Kawhi Leonard. They don't really have that like young person they can really build around. And like I said, it's really unfortunate. Even as I check a mock draft right now, they're supposed to get the 3rd overall pick, and that would advance it, and that pick would go to Oklahoma. So yeah, it's a lot going on with the Clippers, and even when you really think about it, like their whole thing they've been through as a franchise, from the whole Donald Sterling stuff, they tried to get past that with Steve Ballmer. They built this new arena, but they're still struggling. Even when they were in the Staples Center, it's crazy looking back on it. They used to have to share the Staples Centers with the Lakers. They used to have to be out of the city on different times, playing on different schedules, but everyone always knew that was the Lakers arena. They have retired jerseys up there. They have the retired band, everything. That's the Lakers arena. And Steve Ballmer understood that. He built them, in my opinion, that the Intuit Dome is probably the best NBA arena, with the state-of-the-art technology, the presentation, Lotron, and all of that. So I do think the venue itself is good, but I don't know if the team itself should stay. Maybe they should rebrand, blow it up, whatever they have to do. But I'm truly questioning now as if the Clippers really should stay in Los Angeles. Like, they'll never be more popular than the Lakers. Their rebuild's about to get really iffy with the contracts they have to play, plus the lack of draft picks. So and like even the players they could get off, you have old injured stars. They still play good when healthy. Harden still plays good. Kawhi still plays good, like I said. But like you can't build for the future as of right now. I mean, they're too busy trying to cut Chris Paul and instead of trying to figure out the future. So I really did want your opinion on this, on what you think the Clippers, what direction they should go, if you think they should relocate. They were in San Diego originally after they left Buffalo. I think they should have stayed in San Diego. There was no reason to give LA 2 teams. I just don't think there was any reason for that. San Diego was far from LA, so that could have been another team in the region of California. The Sacramento Kings, the Golden State Warriors, the San Diego Clippers. I thought it was better that way. I think they've been in the shadow of the Lakers their entire time. Even when they're bad, they're still in the shadow of the Lakers. I mean, like when the Lakers are bad, I mean. So I did want your opinion on that, and like, gonna go. They have a negative record as a franchise and everything. Barely any draft capital. What do you think happens with the Clippers as a franchise moving forward?
$2 billion is what they have to pay to build their new arena for the Clippers there.
Mm-hmm.
So
$2 billion.
I think that should let you know that they're committed to staying. If I'm not mistaken, it's in Inglewood, because I've actually drove past it once before when they were still building it when I was in LA last year, though. But I think that for them to spend that kind of money, and that should let you know how much they are invested, not just into the Clippers franchise, but their willingness to stay. Now, just in general, I think it would have made more sense if they were looking to move. Then I think it would have made more sense if they decided to build a new arena elsewhere before they decided to keep it in California. So I think that if they wanted to relocate, they should have done that before. Now, just to say at least, if they just in general, I think a relocation would not have been a bad idea, because to your point, you have 4 teams in Cali, right? You have the Lakers, the Clippers, Golden State, and Sacramento. So I think it would have been nice possibly to relocate, say, in Vegas, instead of having to add another team. You could have a team just to relocate to a different location, or you could have gone to Vegas, or you could have gone to Seattle. But I think Vegas would have been better. I would still, if I was Adam Silver, I would move the Clippers to Vegas and then still bring back the Seattle Sonics. That's what I would have done. I would not have moved them to Seattle. But no, I think where they are right now, like you mentioned, with their draft capital, and it still blows my mind that right now, as it looks like, it turns out it's going to be a lottery pick. And if it turns out to be a top 5 pick, I mean, it's just unfair, because just to, like I said before, imagining Oklahoma City, the reigning champions, adding a top 5 pick to their roster when you're talking about like AJ DeBansta or a Cam Boozer or a Kayla Wilson. I mean, it's just crazy, because they are the second worst team in the West. So it's just mind boggling. But I think for a change of scenery, I think it will bring some good to the team. I think, like I said, even though that they're really stuck in the mud right now, because like I say, the roster is a disaster. I thought this team would have been a playoff team, but now, like I said, they are one of the worst teams in the NBA right now. And so maybe a change of scenery would have been good. Like I said, if they were to move to Vegas, you would have a new fan base to a certain degree.
Yep.
But at the same time, just where they are right now, I think it's just best to start over. I think, like I said, you have your new arena. They've been meaning to get one for quite some time, so you have that. And I really want to go to the Clippers game, because I really want to see that new arena, because I've seen pictures and little videos. So I really wanted to go see how it all looks. But yeah, I think it's just best for them just to stay where they're at and roll with the punches. I know, like I said, they're in a very, very bad spot. You don't have a pick this year, because that's most likely going to Oklahoma City. So to your point, with James Harden being on a trade market, only thing I would suggest is hit the reset button, honestly. And we know Kawhi Leonard, we know he's not going to play 100% of the games, or maybe not even 80%. So I will just say, just start over, clean the books, see whatever you can get for Kawhi or Harden, just hit the reset button and go from there, and just do it that way. But like I said, I think it would have been cool if they were to relocate elsewhere and have a change of scenery, but I think that's too late for that now. So yeah, stick where you're at and then just go from there.
They ain't got a choice, dog. That you done already paid your money for that arena, so you stuck. Like you said,
$2 billion. So
that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
If you like you said, if you was gonna relocate, you should have did that shit before.
Done it before then.
You spent that $2 billion. But relocating is not the Clippers' issue. Culture is the fucking issue. They have no culture. So, and they haven't had culture in a long time. So that is where the issue lies. So I don't know what the hell's going on with the Clippers as far as from a culture standpoint. It's the reason why the Clippers look the way the Clippers fucking look. But again, the Clippers have not been worth 2 wooden nickels, minus the one bright spot of the Chris Paul and Blake Griffin days. The Clippers have been good.
That's the only time when they've been relevant for the most part.
Right. I mean,
they had bright spots here and there though, but
yeah, like I mentioned last episode, there's only been two times in my lifetime that the Clippers have been so-called relevant. Quentin Richardson, Darius Miles days, and Lamar Odom, can't leave LO out, and Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. Those are the only 2 times where people really talked about the Clippers. Outside of that, the Clippers have been a fucking dumpster fire, and it has started all over again. Until they clean up the culture in the Clippers organization, and I don't know if it's from top to bottom, but at the very least, from the team standpoint, as far as let's just stick with the players until the players decide that they want to change the culture of how they're how they play and how they represent the LA Clippers, nothing ain't gonna change. A relocation ain't gonna help. Nothing's going to change. So until they get that part right, there's nothing else that they can do. Like I said, changing location ain't gonna do shit. Your team still ass. So fix the shit in house. Fix the shit that you need to fix in house. So, Ty Lue, I don't know what the hell you need to do. You may need to slap somebody in the damn face for all I know to set an example. I don't know. I do agree with cleaning house. Clean it. Get rid of these motherfuckers, man. Kawhi, your ass can't. You ain't been on the court and I don't know how long. Yes, when you get on the court, you're great, but also we don't know how long you're gonna be on the court. That's the problem. James Harden, I know somebody has to score the baskets on this team. You're the one who's doing that. But again, right now it's all for naught. So blow this shit up if need be. Blow this shit up.
You will have to.
Yeah,
you will have to because
y'all ain't got no draft picks, so you need to do something. You
don't have your draft pick this year, and like I said, at this, I mean, and not only that though, but I mean, and that's what it makes it even worse because, like I said, you are the second worst team in the West. It's already looking like a top 5 pick. So if you decide to blow it up, guess what? It could possibly turn to be the first pick in the draft. So I mean, it's just like I said, you just have to rip the Band-Aid off and you just gotta take it. That's all I can say. So
I want to pull up their roster real quick.
Because
that you wouldn't have no. Let me, because we touched on this roster last week, and shout out to Steven for coming on last week, but we kind of touched on it last week as far as when it came to the Clippers and what they look like. And just looking at this roster, like I said, them adding Bradley Beal, why would you do that? Man, that was the major head scratcher for me. It's like, why would you add Bradley Beal? He does nothing for you guys. Like if we're gonna keep it a buck, you already have.
I guess teams still think you're getting that Washington Wizard Bradley Beal giving you 30 a night, but
and I'll keep it a buck.
Those days that pass.
I'll keep it a buck with you there. I feel like he should have stayed in Washington. That's just me.
I mean, because he didn't fit with Phoenix. That was the biggest question because that fit didn't make any sense, and what you traded for him was just the icing on the cake because you just gave that away for nothing. And then of course when you get to Los Angeles, you're out for the rest of the season. What do you do?
If I could ask both of you, and you don't have to go into great detail about it, I would just like to know, both of y'all were the GMs, what would be your first move, just your first move, if you were the GM of the Los Angeles Clippers
right now?
Yeah, like what would be your first move, like to get the ball rolling for the rebuild and like the reconstruction?
I'm making phone calls, see what I can get for James Harden, then Kawhi Leonard, then John Collins. You're just trickling all the way. You trickling from 1 through 15 on everybody.
You, Kawhi and James still got like that same value you could get back? Like would it be easy negotiations? I mean, like, do you think you'd be able to get him off the team easily, or would you have to call a bunch of teams? And how do you think?
You had to call multiple teams. Now you're not going to get a significant value for those guys. I mean, you could probably get a first round pick, not a unprotected pick. It'll probably something. It'll add some protections most likely, but what I'm saying is you'll get value, but it's not where we all know you're not getting the farm and you're not going to get a lot back. I think for something like Harden or Kawhi, you could probably get maybe a veteran or two, then maybe one young player, and then maybe a draft pick. It all depends.
Who I'm calling first? Motherfucking Danny Ainge.
Yeah, the Celtics.
Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge is in Utah.
Utah now. Right?
Yeah.
Josh.
Danny Ainge know how to make a deal. Danny Ainge got. Danny
Well,
Ainge got
Danny Ainge, he's a tough cookie now. He's
I
gonna
get that. I get that, but also
Yeah.
Danny Ainge got picks. So Danny Ainge got
Yeah.
what you
It
like.
could make sense because they're
You want to keep
wanting
it
to
stuck.
build
Danny Ainge
around
got
Lloyd
what you
marketing. Yeah, so
like.
it
You
could
might
make
have to
sense. Yeah,
look. He might have to throw a little Kevin Love off in there, but he got what you need. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm the GM of the fucking Clippers, yeah, I'm playing the field. Yes, I'm hitting up everybody. Hey, I got James Harden. I got motherfucking Kawhi. So yes, I'm putting Kawhi Leonard up there. Why? Because somebody's gonna be stupid enough to think that Kawhi Leonard's gonna
Just
come
turn back
back.
the clock.
And, yeah. No, there's always somebody dumb enough to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's,
I'm just
it
saying.
ain't gonna work.
Hey,
It's not gonna be the.
If
Yeah,
you dumb
not
enough to pull the trigger on Bradley Beal,
Yeah.
I mean, what's not to say that somebody will pull the trigger on Kawhi?
Right.
I mean, like you say, there's. I mean, look, a lot of times we've seen it before where, despite if Kawhi or somebody else dealing with injuries, you always have that one that will take that risk. And if you're trying to win games, sometimes you have to go for it. So I'm not mad at that, but just the fact of the matter is just that you have to be more realistic.
Here's all I'm saying. In this game, in this part of the business, it's who's the fool. You gotta know. You gotta find somebody that's gonna be the fool. I mean, now there are times, yeah, you just gonna have to play big boy ball and legit make a deal. But for the most part, motherfuckers get out here and they looking for who's the fool. Phoenix, we saw Phoenix be the fool. Clippers be the fool. So I mean, they out there. It's all how can you word this and talk your way into getting what you need out of a trade.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden's going to be your best bet because
yeah,
we see what he's doing at the moment. So
still playing good.
Somebody will always pull the trigger on James Harden until he starts to decline. Like I said, Kawhi on the other hand, different story because this motherfucker can't stay on the floor. So
yeah,
that's what I'm doing. Yeah, Garrett, me and you, we're pretty much lock and step of just blowing this shit up and trying to restart.
You have to, and really just want to touch upon one thing too, real quick. I mean, when you look at their roster, it's just I just don't think you're not going to get significant value where it will put you in a good place for a rebuild. Because I mean, I think maybe to a degree, I think because when you're into a rebuild, typically you're looking for draft capital and cap relief. So you're talking about expiring contracts in that matter. Yes, you could get that, but it's not going to be where you will go into a fully successful rebuild. Because honestly, when I look at their roster, I think the only player that would get them, real value is Zubac. I think that's the only player that's going to get real, value back. Now, like I said, you're not going to get anything. Yeah.
And you got to bite the bullet with Bradley Beal because he hurt.
Out for the year, season.
That's 53 million right there.
Down the drain.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah, I would just, get off this long-term money. Get off this long-term money and, see what you can do about rebuilding through the draft. Because you already lost your pick this year, which is, I know they're shooting themselves in the foot right now, but you just had to figure it out from there. But godly, man.
That pick is long gone, bro.
Bro, like an AJ DeBensa on an OKC Thunder team. I can't get that out of my head, man. I just
shit. Cam Boozer on the OKC Thunder team.
Aaron Peterson.
Caleb Wilson, man, just throw your glasses out, man. It's just a wrap. Hendernism.
Hold up. I ain't throwing my goddamn glasses. I need these.
I
got some more in the back that I can toss around. But no, but yeah, that's what I would do, Antoine, man.
Nah, I agree with both of you. I just wanted your takes because I was gonna go last. I agree. I would rebuild 100%. You got to get the superstars off, so at least you can have wiggle room to try to build for the future with the money and the contracts. You can't pay because I mean I get it. It's good on paper to have these guys here and they're still producing, but how much longer are they going to do that? Like Wiley said, James Harden is 36 right now. Kawhi is 34. I get it, modern medicine, all those things, but we're thinking for the long term, and it's still Los Angeles, So, I'm sorry.
Ain't enough fucking medicine for Kawhi.
Yeah, like you're funny.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's like I said, they're stuck in the mud right now.
You're funny.
Guys, it's just they're in Twilight Zone.
Nah, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing they can do at this point, but just get the players off and just build for the future. Ivica Zubac, he's playing great, but I don't know if he's a star caliber player you can build around for the future. Obviously, they want a bigger name than that. And like Garrett said, that'd be their main way. You have to form those three in a package, like at the draft on draft night to try to, like for real, to even try to get that off. But we're gonna see. I think Steve Ballmer is 100% still focused on winning. He intends on winning. It's gonna take a little bit. I feel bad for him. I do because he's. I mean, hey, like he worked really hard to have this arena.
You never not gonna make me feel bad for a fucking millionaire or a billionaire.
Millionaire, no, I get it.
You are in this.
He's a billionaire now.
Hey,
he just paid all that money.
I'm just saying in general, like you're not when it comes to millionaires and billionaires. I don't feel sorry for you.
For sure,
figure it out. That's what you tell. Hey, how you tell it? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
It just sucks, because from his perspective, he's seeing all these fans be so disappointed in the crowd, like night after night, and and he built this arena for them, and it's. I mean, for real. No, you're right though.
All I'm saying is, there's still It's always gonna be my line. They're still the fucking Clippers. He knew what he was getting into. If he didn't, he should have known.
And $2 billion, that's a lot of fucking, man, like
$1 billion bucket for him, but still,
like for real, man, like on a building. And I get it, it's definitely state of the art. It was worth it. They just got to get the shit together, and they're gonna do that. And also, it's kind of fucked up for Kawhi and James Harden, both of them being from Los Angeles, California, and playing for their hometown teams. It's just not going good, man. You dream about that your whole life, literally, both of them. To be there at the same time, it's just not going good, unfortunately. But yeah, we can go on to the last topic. Most definitely, I was looking forward to this one. Always love comparing the greatest stars of the era, most definitely. You can go ahead and take it away, Garrett, if you want.
Yeah, so just looking at the best big three since 2000, and
I got a caveat real quick before we even get all the way into this. I'm looking at this Lakers squad. Why is Robert
Horry?
Why is he here
over Eddie Jones? Or
I wouldn't even, to be honest, I wouldn't even put the Lakers in this one. But since they're here, I would take Robert Horry out, insert Derek Fisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because you have to think this is 01, so this is the three-peat. So this is from what, 01 to
2002.
01 to 04. So this is three-peat.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Robert Horry, I wouldn't have him here, but whoever made this, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My bad, dog. I had to get this out. As soon as you sent me this, I said I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till we get started.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna have something to say about this one, but no, I think this is really, really tough. And I'm only saying this from an overall skill standpoint. Of course, I think it would be, it's not hard when it comes to accolades, championships, and all that. But from a skill standpoint, when you look at each one, it's very hard to dissect. Now, honestly, I think OKC with Shea and Jalen and Che, I think this automatically eliminates them because I don't think that big three can be the other ones. But but for me though, I think in terms of a talent perspective here, I think it's between number 4 and number 6. Now, like I said, it's very hard to dissect it, but I mean, if I had to like really think about it, I probably would have to go with number 6 because I think Kobe and Shaq, that's one of the most dominant duos alone of all time. I'm not talking about like top 20 or top 15. I'm thinking this is a top 10 duo for sure. Maybe even top 5 because we know. Because to me, I think both players are 2 top 10 players in the NBA of all time, but I think that's really the common denominator. But that's why I say even with them, it's not like an easy yes because these are you're looking at multiple Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, and it's not an easy choice. But yeah, I have to go with number 6 because, like I said, Shaq and Kobe, they're one of the most dominant duos in the league of all time, 2 top 10 players of all time too. So I probably go with the Lakers on this one.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and just go second. I do like your pick most definitely. For me, I was kind of stuck between. Now that I look at it for real, like I see why you said 4 and 6. I'm kind of leaning between 1 through 3 because I feel like all these 3 trios are legendary in itself, and they all kind of had their own eras in a way you could say. But my final answer, I'd probably go number 3, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, Miami Heat team. 2010 to 2014. They made the finals 4 years in a row, won it twice. All 3 players have extremely high basketball IQ. All 3 players have been franchise players, and they can work together too. So I'd probably go with the Heatles.
I mean, you say 4 times in a row? Or was it 3?
They made it against Dallas,
then back to back with San Antonio. I think it was 3.
Yeah.
Was it 3?
Yeah,
okay.
3. Yeah, 3 times. Yeah.
So
they lost to Dallas in the first one. Actually, no. It's 4.
It's 4. I got it.
Yes, 4.
Yeah. So they lost to Dallas. 2011, 2012, they beat OKC. 2012, 2013.
They beat San Antonio.
And
then they lost San Antonio.
Lost San Antonio. Yeah, it's 4 times. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, nah. So we've seen this trio be successful. We know they play championship caliber basketball. So that'd probably be my pick. The best big 3 since 2000. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, most definitely. Especially considering Bosh had to retire young. Too. He was really, really good. I was really high on Chris Bosh. Number 3 for sure.
Yes, I fuck with Chris Bosh. So I'm gonna start with the order of this. I would move Kobe, Shaq, and Robert Horry. I would move them up to either. It's hard, but I would either put them one or 2. So
okay, yeah,
I would make them either 1 or 2, and that's between them and the Spurs, like no question. Of course, if you're talking, if you're going to talk as far as like success and all that, then I would put them 2. But depending on how you look at it, between those 2, they could be one or 2. Take your pick. After that. Yeah, Golden State would be 3. The Heatles would be 4.
Heatles.
I'm now where I'm torn at is between the Celtics and the Cavs, the LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love Cavs. I feel like
why I would put
those. I feel like those can flip, especially once you start bringing the rest of the team into it. I probably would put the Celtics over the Cavs.
I mean, because they were down 1-3 in the finals.
I get that.
So
came back.
I mean,
on that 73.
I'm just adding that
caveat in. They still lost to that same team.
They did.
That's
But
all.
I mean, that's like one of the greatest
I get it.
comebacks in history.
I get what y'all getting at, but also,
That's
yeah.
the case.
But then even with the both OKC teams, that's a toss up because to be honest,
I mean, look,
maybe
look,
Russ and James Harden.
I love Shea and Chad and Jalen, but we know they're not
We
the
know,
best big
yeah,
three in
we saw
OKC.
it.
So you know they're gonna be dead last.
We saw it
And
live.
they haven't play together that long either.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I had my gripes with that. As far as who I would take as the top team, of course, for me, it's going to be out of the top two teams that I think that are the best. It's going to be between the Spurs and the Lakers. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna take shit.
It's hard.
I can't even say 9 times out of
Robert
10.
Horry, your guy. Then
I mean, he did play for Alabama, Roll Tide. So there's that. But I still don't think he would be the part of the so-called big three. Actually, it wasn't even a big three. It was just Shaq and Kobe.
Fire and ice.
Yeah, it was just Shaq and Kobe.
But for this purpose, shit, dog. I probably would take the Spurs just because of how long this squad was able to do this and continue to win. If they wasn't winning, they were in the mix compared to these other teams.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, and also the coach has something to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
The players around them have something to do with this. But when you look at those three, when you look at Tim, Manu, and Tony Parker, like those three motherfuckers were hard to stop.
Yeah,
it was hard. It was hard to stop.
But I think you have to give I think that's where you have to give Coach Pop a lot of credit because the fact of the matter is that not just with the big three, but like you also mentioned, Wiley, about other players that they surrounded. Like just from my recent memory, when you had like David Robinson or Patty Mills or those guys. So it's just the fact that they didn't have. I mean, they had guys that were big names, Hall of Famers, but the fact of the matter is just that their player development and how they were integrated into the system and they were winning championships off of that. So just the fact of the matter is just that it wasn't just the talent that they had, but also with Coach Pop and his staff and years of experience of just developing these guys. So yeah, you gotta give Coach Pop credit to that too.
And then the big three that I respect the most are the Warriors because this big three is homegrown.
They were drafted. That's what I was going to say.
They're all drafted.
That's what I was
They all won. They won together up until we've gotten to this point where after Clay left. But when you go back and look at it from the grand scheme of things, like those three right there, like they, especially once they made that coaching change from Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr, they took off immediately. Like it was like I guess you could say Steve Kerr was the missing piece for them. But also when Steve Kerr came in, Draymond was in like year 2. Mm-hmm. And then we see Steph starting to become Steph, Clay starting to become Clay. So but no, like I said, outside of my little gripe of the Lakers portion of it, I fuck with this. Of course, my heart's always gonna be with the Celtics because of my guy KG, favorite player not named Michael Jordan. But yeah, getting to see all of these guys play at some point throughout the NBA has been pretty dope to see, especially when it comes like to the Lakers, with Paul Pierce and all them guys, like before they even got created. Like it's been dope. It's been dope to see. I wish, and I'm with you with Chris Bosh. I wish he would have got to play longer, but we understand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. And Bosh retired. That was like 31 years old. He retired. It's crazy when you really look back on his basketball reference, like because he was doing better because LeBron had left him back to Cleveland. So he was stepping back into having more usage and stuff like that. But I see Toronto Bosh.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's something that he doesn't get enough credit for because before he got to Miami, Chris Bosh was killing it in Toronto.
Yeah, he was already a problem.
Yeah, he was.
He was already a problem.
He had me fucking giggling when it came down to when he was trying to promote himself for the All-Star game. That motherfucker, I said he had me fucking crying. But yeah, I felt like Chris Bosh didn't get a lot of respect that he should have, especially the role that he had to take, the role that he took joining Miami, joining LeBron, who's ball dominant, joining Wade, who's also ball dominant, and then having to figure out his role playing with them two. And it worked. He figured it out.
Yep.
For real.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part about it, honestly, like his story. And I do want to give respect to the 2012 Oklahoma City Thunder. That was 3 future MVPs all on the same team at the same time. It's unfortunate they couldn't get the contract to work out with James. He went to Houston after that with the Kevin Martin situation. So sucked, man. Like you had 3 MVPs.
You see OKC learn from their mistakes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sam Presti,
learn from their mistakes.
yeah, fuck yeah. Sam Presti was not gonna do that again. And
he got it right this time though. So
hell yeah.
Yep.
For fuck sure. Great show though. Really, really enjoyed this as always. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You see our QR code at the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Please scan that. It takes you to all of our links and social media so you can subscribe and support the show. Always love doing this for y'all. But that's it for me, boys, unless y'all got anything else y'all was trying to say.
I'll let you go first, Garrett.
Yeah, as always, thank you guys for your time and your support. Of course, we're going to continue to do this until the wheels fall off. But yeah, today was a great show. We always appreciate you guys, your love and your support. So we'll see you guys next time.
And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. Enjoy your Christmas, most definitely.
Absolutely.
And Happy New Year's.
Yes. Yes. So this is our last show for the holiday break. As we close this out, of course, this time of year is always rough. Thanksgiving, pretty much from Thanksgiving all the way to New Year's is rough on people because this is the time of year where seasonal depression kicks in. So, of course, if you have your loved ones with you, love on your loved ones, appreciate your friends, tell them that you love them, all of that good stuff. Mental health is real, so take care of your mental. If I can reach out to anybody that you need to, but for the most part, just take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Happy holidays to everybody, and we will holler at y'all in the new year.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
God bless y'all. Stay safe.
They gave me my theme music.